Hi there and welcome. My name is Andy Jaquez. I am a systems analyst with Terra Information Group, and today I'll be going over on the product rule configuration using SAP CPQ. So to jump in, I'll just be giving you a little bit of information about SAP. In 2018, SAP acquired Callidus Cloud, the leader in cloud-based lead-to-money, quote-to-cash solutions. As many of us know, the Callidus Cloud solutions have become part of the SAP Sales Cloud pillar of the C4HANA suite. One of these solutions is CPQ, which stands for Configure, Price, and Quote, and is what we will be going over today. And you may be asking, or you may be using varying configuration. You may be wondering why CPQ over VC. Well, I'm here to tell you basically, as you may have experience with varying configuration and SAP ECC, is that it is pretty time consuming and complicated, usually resulting in a lot of headaches, specifically when you need to create attribute dependencies. The configuration rules and attribute dependencies within SAP CPQ are more straightforward and intuitive. The last thing you or your consumer want is to waste time on an issue that could have been prevented. Defining these rules in SAP CPQ is a great way to ensure that your products are being configured correctly to prevent any errors. So going forward, let me demonstrate the configuration of a laptop as an example. So let's assume that I am an electronics store selling laptops, which consist of the following attributes: hard drive and memory card. Um, and basically, I will set a rule that will not allow an 8 GB memory to be configured with a storage of 1 TB. Now, again, this is a demonstration that can be configured to a product you wish to have a rule set in place for. So I have my catalog homepage here already displayed. What I would do is click on my setup and hit the setup button here, which would then take us to the setup home. From the setup home, I would go ahead and click on the product catalog because this is where we will be defining the rule. So from the product catalog, I will be selecting products 2.0 for this demonstration. And when the search field, as it is already here, I will be looking for the MacBook because that is the product that we will be defining the rule in. Now, with this rule being set in the MacBook Pro, within products 2.0, it will also be mimicked in the product catalog as well. So I'll just go in here and click Edit. And from here we can see our list of tabs at the top. And to create the rule, I will select the rules and messages to define the rule. Next, after clicking the rules and messages, we can see that I have no rules for this product at the moment. And so what I would want to do is add a rule. As you can see here, once you click the add rule, it will automatically activate this rule. And what is required here is the name for the rule and the condition for the rule, as well as the action that will take place. Description isn't required, but it does make it easier for to place one, so that way when other administrators come in, they know what exactly this rule is being used for, or being defined for. So here we'll go ahead and insert memory dependency, and in the description, we'll just put something simply as cannot configure 8 GB memory with 1 TB storage. Alright. So after setting the name for the rule and the description, what we'll want to go ahead and do next is click the formula builder, under our conditions tab, here we define the attribute that will be selected for our condition to be met. So basically, again, we do not, basically what we're setting this rule for is if the 8 gigabyte memory is selected, that it cannot be configured with the 1 terabyte storage. So under formula builder, I will go ahead. You can see that I have a list of actions, if actions for the attributes. And the one that I'll be selecting here, since we are just strictly working with one attribute value, is if any value. And then in the step 2, it wants us to select another, the attribute value that this will take effect for. So I'm going to select the 8 gigabyte memory. And next I'll just hit the insert action. And as you can see here in our expression box is that if any value is selected that is the 8 gigabyte MacBook Pro memory, is that we will be defining an action for. So I would just go ahead and check the check syntax, and I can see that the string says that it is okay. So I'll go ahead and press update, and now you can see that it is placed in our conditions box here. So next I will go ahead and move on to our actions box. So now what the action box here is basically, we'll be defining if we select the 8 gigabyte memory, what action do we want CPQ to take place. So from here, again, once the 8 gigabyte memory is selected, we don't want the sales representative to be able to select the 1 terabyte option. So I would go here from our list of actions is that we will be disallowing the attribute values. So disallow values. And now you can select multiple values if you'd like that you don't want selected for the specific option. But in this case, we'll be selecting the 1 terabyte storage option that we don't want to be configured with the 8 gigabyte memory. So we'll go ahead and hit insert action. And now you can see that it was placed in our expressions box. So we want to disallow the value of MacBook Pro storage 1 terabyte. Check the syntax, so we can see that it is okay. And now we'll go ahead and update. So now after building our formulas here, we are basically saying that if the attribute value of 8 gigabyte memory is selected, we want to disallow the value of the 1 terabyte storage option. So next we will go ahead and click Save the Rule. You can see that it was successfully saved. One other thing I would like to do is to notify the sales rep why this is happening. So we will go into Product Messages to display a message for the user that will be configuring the product. So I can see that I have actually the display box already configured, and as if it wasn't, we would go ahead and add a new message. In this case, I've already created it, so we'll go into Edit. Again, you would want to, name is required, so again, I just matched the name to the rule. And so memory dependency, and the description is that we cannot configure 8 gigabyte memory with a 1 terabyte storage. Again, you can create a start and end date if this is a temporary rule or message. And the 3 that will be automatically selected are active, show, and responder, make product incomplete. We want to deselect this one because we want to make sure that the product is completed once we configure it. So in our rule definition under the condition, again, we would go into our formula builder. We would select if any value, again, because we're focused on the 8 gigabyte memory. And then we would select the MacBook Pro memory of 8 gigabyte, insert the action. And now we have that if any value, or if any attribute value which is selected is 8 gigabyte memory, we want a message to be displayed. We would check the syntax, it is okay. We would hit update. And then in our message text, we would just simply write what we would want to be displayed in that message box for the sales representative. So in here, I just simply copied what was in the description and placed it in the message text. And now we would just want to save the message. We can see that it is successfully saved. We would definitely want to go back. All right, and now basically to check if our rule is in effect, we would want to exit the setup and go to the catalog. So I'll just go ahead and open in a new link. We would click on the link here to go to our catalog. And now I created this for the MacBook Pro under the laptops category, so I'll go ahead and select that. We're going to want to configure the MacBook Pro that I had created to test this out. And from here, I'd go ahead and make my selections. And so now, if I select the 8 gigabyte Pro memory memory, the 1 terabyte option should not be available for me. So I'll go ahead and click that. And as you can see, the 1 terabyte option has been removed. I have a message displaying that we cannot configure 8 gigabyte memory with 1 terabyte storage option. So if I was a sales rep, I would be informing the customer that I can do the 8 gigabyte option, but the only storage options that are available are the 256 and the 512. Now, if they wanted the 1 terabyte option, I would have to deselect the 8 gigabyte and either do the 16 or the 32 gigabyte memory option. Again, this was just a brief overview of how to create your rule and display a message for the rule set in place. Of course, this is just an example described as a simple rule. However, it can easily be used for another rule if you'd like. If you have any kind of questions, or you want another demonstration, just please feel free to contact Terra Information Group at sales@terrainformation.com. Thank you.